Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. You're watching HQ BMW. Today, it's time. We got to get rid of the wheel gap on stone. So, without further ado, let's get in the air, get the wheels off, and we are going to start installing the Airlift Performance Suspension 3H. This is just part one of the video. We're actually just going to get the actual bags installed into the car, which is probably the most labor intensive, is changing out the actual suspension. This is no different than from lowering any car, or I've showed you guys how to lower your X1. It's the same process as that, and I did a video on installing the Airlift Performance on Quinn, and it's the exact same process as that. So I'm not going to get into super detail. I've learned a few tips and tricks in the history of lowering BMWs that I'll share with you guys, but we're not going to go into great detail because it's just like lowering any car. So let's get started. One of the major differences between the M3 and the X1 and the F30 is this carbon fiber strut tower brace. It is covering some of the bolts for removing the actual strut. So we have to take this carbon fiber strut tower brace off so that we can pull the actual suspension out from the top side. So I'm going to start with that first. So here's one of the little tricks I learned for getting this clamp that holds the actual strut in, is if you take an Allen key, which will fit in this slot, and then turn it, and it actually spreads the clamp apart so that you can get your strut out. I need two hands to do this, so I'm gonna put you guys down. Old suspension is out. There we go. Now, let's get the bag put in. So we gotta get the leader lines put onto the bags before we put it into the car. And if you guys remember, or you're new to the channel, I like to do things overkill, so I actually put some Teflon tape on the threads, and we are actually going to also use some thread sealer just to be safe. So we got to get the leader lines put into the actual bags, and then on the other end you got to put your quick connect air fitting lines onto the leader lines, and then it'll be ready to accept the airlines. So let's get these together and get the first bag put in the car. Okay, we've hit a slight hiccup. The fitting for the end of the leader line is for a 1/4 inch line. Obviously we're running 3/8 line, so these are not going to work. The 3/8 ones are usually supplied in the hardware kit, and they're not there. So I'm gonna have to reach out to Airlift and see if we can get some 3/8 leader line fittings. Till then, we won't be able to finish the install, but we can at least get the bags put in. So keep watching, and hope you guys are enjoying part one. Okay, one more snag. I've got the front left on the left side, but this bracket should be on the inside, as well as this pin. This pin slides into this slot, so we're gonna have to crack this nut off, turn the coil over up or down, and then we will then also be able to get our new sway bar end link in, because right now this isn't working. it needs to go over here. So it should sit like this. So let's get this nut backed off and we'll get it turned around. Okay, I didn't have to back the nut off. I actually got the whole strut to actually turn without having to adjust any of this stuff. So disaster one avoided. First bag is in. That took me way longer than it should have, but it's in now. So now I'm gonna move to the other side. Hopefully the other side won't take me as long, but we got the new sway bar end link in. We got our leader line without a fitting on it, just laying in there. So let's get to the other side. Okay, so I'm got the fronts all done, and now we're moving to the rear bags, but the same issue we're having. The fittings they give for the rear bags so the fitting goes into here and it needs to be a 90 degree. The problem is the fitting is for 1/4 inch line. I don't have any 3/8 lines. They didn't supply any of the fittings for the 3/8 line, so I'm gonna have to email them and try and get some as quickly as possible. I do, however, from Quinn's install, I went and did buy a whole bunch of actual brass fittings for I did go buy a whole bunch of brass fittings for Quinn's install just to be safe if I needed to replace the plastic quick connects. I did get brass ones, so thankfully I have these. So I'm gonna put these into the rear bags, and then honestly I'll never have to worry about these brass ones ever leaking. So these should be good, but still disappointing that I don't have all the fittings to do the install, and if I was trying to complete it this weekend, there's no way I could. So I'm gonna get these put into the bags and then I'll show you the rear install. The rear bag is in, as well as the shock. Big thing to remember when doing the rear on your M3, M4 is this toe link arm actually from factory curves inward, and when you put it back in you have to flip it around so it curves out and it clears the airbag. But pretty simple process. You just got to remove these two bolts, one to take the actual shock out, and then this one drops the arm down. Then you can pull the airbag out when you lower the lower control arm. Now we got the fitting pointed out so we can put the airline in, and the nice thing about the Airlift Performance is it's got this adjustability for how it rides, how hard or soft you prefer it. I just left it at the factory settings right now. We'll adjust that later once we get the entire kit installed. Well, what do you guys think? Stone is halfway there bagged. At least we got the look of what it potentially is going to look like, and that was the right choice. Man, does it ever look good. There's nothing, I can't say nothing. I'm speechless. It looks so good, and I am exhausted. I'm pooped. It's 5:30. I started at 8:30 this morning, and it's taken me this entire time to get the Airlift performance suspension put in. We're not done. We still got the plumbing and the wiring to do, and then we have the entire trunk set up. So I'm gonna break it up into 2 more parts. We'll do the trunk setup, and then we'll do the wiring and plumbing at one different video as well. So if you want to see the entire process and what it takes to bag your BMW F80 M3, or it also goes for a lot of other vehicles on how to bag it. So hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell. You'll be notified every time I upload a new video. Drop a comment, let me know what you guys think of Stone. Dropped. No more nasty wheel gap. No more 4x4 mode. It's gonna be slammed all the time. Thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe. Peace.